First up, we've got Seoul and Jin. Feel Seoul good. Episode 1, love. This is tourism at its finest. And you know me, probably one of the few reactors really loves tourism ads from Korea. Boy, do I ever. Let's see what we got.
Love my soul. 서울에 오면 사랑에 푹 빠지게 될 거야. So lovely. So romantic. So fantastic. 발길 닿는 곳마다 사랑이 가득하니까. 여기 서울에서 너만의 소울을 느껴봐. Feel so good. Seoul, my soul.
Okay. I was a little underwhelmed by that. Now, I say that because the bar is extremely high. If you've seen the tourism ads that we have seen, Mokpo, for example, whichever one, I think it was Daegu, big naughty. The bar is high. Now, thankfully, they've got Jin. Jin makes up for a lot. This is just not what I was expecting. Let's see where chapter 2 goes. Episode 2, Inspire.
Inspire my soul. 서울에 오면 놀랍고 새로운 경험을 만나게 될 거야. So wonderful. So delicious.
Whoa, what's that? Yo, what is that? I never want to eat again because of what we just did. But what was that? What's that? Are those potato chips? It's like one giant potato chip coil. Tornado potato. Is that all one piece? Crispy and delicious. It's all one piece, basically. So you could literally and just pull the whole thing out in this one bite. Slinky potato. Damn, yo. That's legit. Huh. Potato tornado.
Delicious.
Hiking.
So amazing. 여행의 끝엔 새로운 너를 발견할 테니까 여기 서울에서 너만의 소울을 느껴봐. Feel so good. Seoul, my soul.
See, before I get into 3, let me go back. Let me go back one. Maybe, if I can. Buttons. Okay. So, apparently, this is a different channel or company or production company, whatever, from the other videos that we have watched, the ones I'm referencing, okay? So, of course, there's going to be some differences. However, here's what I would say, though. With something like this, it can be really, let me put on my director's hat, okay? It can be really tricky when you have a bunch of different things that you want to show, even though they all fall under the same umbrella of Korea. Okay, so we have to show Korea, but we want to show these specific spots. Well, in this case, to me, in the first watch, I'm going to watch it again. Actually, I'm going to watch the third one because it's the same group. The format should be about the same. And if I have to, I'll come back. But point being, when you have to show like different things under one umbrella, you still have to find a way, in my opinion, generally, to tie them together in a way that helps, it kind of eases the viewer along. Okay, like in 52 seconds, we show a whole bunch of different locations, and that's fine because they all fall under the theme of Korea. So it works regardless. But if you can ease the path for the viewer to make it seem and feel more smooth, you're more likely to get the intended response at the end of it. For example, at the end of this video, I kind of felt like it was a little chaotic. There were pretty shots, but it didn't make me want to go to Korea, right? I kind of felt like I was being teleported around. And at the end of the video, that's not a call to action to me as the viewer to go, yeah, I want to go there, like some of the other videos. So here's what I would say. Let's watch the third one and see if they do that. Do they just show us different places, or do they tie them together in a specific way? Let's see what they do. This is episode 3, Fun.
Fun, my soul. 서울에 오면 웃을 일이 많아질 거야. So funny. So joyful. So exciting. 네가 원하는 모든 즐거움이 있으니까 여기 서울에서 너만의 소울을 느껴봐. Feel so good. Seoul, my soul.
Okay. All right, now that one, they kind of got a break on that one because, well, I'll tell you what, let me ask you this, chat. Couch crew, fam. Who do you think this video was geared towards? Just roughly, if you had to guess. An age group, maybe? Any ideas? Westerners, probably a safe bet. Okay. Young adults, the US 20s, the youth. Yeah, that was going to be my guess. Maybe K-pop fans, but definitely the younger generation. Okay, could be talking 20s, could be talking 30s, but yeah, maybe Westerners. And yeah, it's specifically with this, like, let's go all the way back. Okay, I mean, it's 55 seconds. We have, first of all, whatever this smiley face is, I'm guessing this is like a mascot or a logo for this company, maybe. Because it's all over the place. Every video has it strewn throughout.
Fun.
Makes sense if that's the case.
서울에 오면 웃을 일.
Now this is clever, and this is kind of what I was going to suggest in the previous video, and hopefully it didn't happen and I missed it. But what I was going to say was we kind of need a smooth or clever transition to go from location to location to location. And that's what I talk about, easing the path of the viewer, okay? So we go from this house into the mall or wherever we are.
Fun, my soul.
Clever transition.
서울에 오면 웃을 일이 많아질 거야.
Perfect. All of this imagery, the music, the pacing, the cast, screams demographic. This is who we're talking to.
So funny. So joyful.
This right here is another great example. You're not going to see me, probably, go to this location and go, yo, I need to do my TikTok back here. Let me get my Rins to screaming today. Maybe even my Finsta. Not me. But people of this age group, much higher likelihood. Not guaranteed, but much higher. I mean, hell, this right here, this shot could be enough for somebody of this age group that's a K-pop fan to be like, yo, if I save my money, I could go to this location, wherever it is. I could go to South Korea. I could do a bunch of videos for my TikTok on local. Oh my God, that would totally make me. And if that works, that works. Just a little seed to plant.
exciting.
Decent.
네가 원하는 모든 즐거움이 있으니까 여기 서울에서 너만의 소울을 느껴봐. Feel so good. 서울 my soul.
Okay, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. Now I'm curious. I want to go back to the second one and see if they did something similar. And if they didn't, and it was kind of batched together, I'll give you my suggestion, which is simple, but it's something.
Inspire my soul.
Inspire.
서울에 오면 놀랍고 새로운 경험을 만나게 될 거야. So wonderful. So delicious. So amazing. 여행의 끝엔 새로운 너를 발견할 테니까 여기 서울에서 너만의 소울을 느껴봐. Feel so good. 서울 my soul.
Okay, so watching it a second time, I do feel the same way. I feel like they literally just kind of go from A, B, C. And even to me, personally, feels a little bit jagged because, like, even at one point, the music, which is relatively upbeat, stops. We get that meditation scene, and then we're kind of back into it again. It just feels not smooth to me. What I would suggest, and I'm a thumb with two thumbs. I'm a dum-dum. But what I would say is, one thing to consider is, like, if you want to show, let's take the different scenes here. We've got Jin painting, talking about inspiration. We've got
서울에 오면
the beauty shop.
놀랍고 새로운 경험을 만나게 될 거야.
We've got like apparel and clothes, so beauty stuff, shopping.
So wonderful.
Now, this is like an attempt at a transition. I mean, and it's pretty obvious. Like K-beauty, beauty, the art. It's kind of a transition because we're following her to the next scene, but it's really not. Now we instantly cut. Like, we follow her
Wonderful.
to here, and I guess that her?
될 거야.
I don't know if that was supposed to be her or not, that crossed in front of them. Oh, she's right there. Wait a second. What? Okay, here's a hiccup. You see the direction that she's walking, left to right. We're with her on this journey. When she enters the next scene, she's coming from the opposite direction. This is kind of breaking a rule. Okay, now, before you keyboard commandos on YouTube yell and scream at me that this shit doesn't matter, why are you watching reactions? Go play outside a little bit. Go play some ball. Here's the catch with this, right? The reason this little things like can make you feel off a little bit as a viewer. If you want people to like, how do I put this? If you want people to like have that response of call to action, like you're making this video because you want people to go. You want people to go. They want them to be excited, right? And obviously, like her walking in a different direction, most people aren't even going to pick up on that. I didn't pick up on it the first time, but there's still a feeling that kind of registers with you. And little things like this are enough to like, and you're not sure. You can't even explain it, right? But here's the catch. She is the transition, okay? So we follow her, then she comes from a different direction. It still kind of registers up here. The colors on the side of the building, it's still not enough to be like, oh yeah, this makes sense, okay? Let's just go with it though. The next scene, we're with Jin, we're having some food. So now we go to the food scenes. Totally different location, still on food. Okay, that's all right.
So delicious.
And now we're hiking. Next day, we were at nighttime, different location. Now we're hiking.
So amazing.
Immersion break.
여행의 끝엔 새로운 너를 발견할 테니까. 여기 서울에서 너만의 소울을 느껴봐. Feel Soul Good.
Now that was a decent transition. The city scene that we just went to was the same one that was in the postcard he was looking at.
여기 서울에서 너만의 소울을 느껴봐.
Pretty clever. That's good. So the question becomes, all right, smartass, if this needs work, how do you fix it? Here's the suggestion that I would have. Let's just jot down the different scenes that we want to show, and we'll keep it really simple, okay? Jin painting. Let's leave it here. So we got Jin painting. We've got K-beauty and shopping. Food. This kind of starts to break into a little bit the nightlife. A little bit.
So delicious.
And now we're hiking in the next day, okay?
So amazing.
We move into the meditation at the temple.
여행의
And then finally is the call to action, which is the postcard, which is kind of subliminal, but you see it.
끝엔 새로운 너를 발견할 테니까. 여기
That's like, hey, I could send a postcard to people from Korea. Cool.
서울에서 너만의 소울을 느껴봐.
Into the transition. So how do we do it? What we do, very simple. I want to go from Jin's room to shopping and K-beauty to dining. We'll just take those three locations, okay? I'm going to instill what we call a floating camera. The floating camera is as if you were, and I'll use this very poor metaphor, but you'll understand enough of what I'm talking about. You're essentially riding a flying camera, a slow, smooth flying camera through a scene, and you never quite see the transition from scene to scene. A movie that did this perfectly, 1917. What seems like one complete shot for like 40 minutes or whatever it is tons of shots stitched together by perfect transitions. Regardless of whether or not you've seen that movie, hell, I haven't even seen the whole movie. But the point is, let's say we start on Jin, just nice, easy pan of Jin. He's got his little paintbrush, and then we start to turn, and the curtain blows in front of the camera, and it blocks Jin for that quick second. And when the curtain goes by, now we are going through the curtain at the store. And we see the K-beauty products. We see the shopping. We're literally kind of floating through the scene, okay? We're on a ride, and all we have to do is just kind of watch. That's it. So we see the products, we see the shopping, and we just kind of roll through. Now, when we roll through, we might pass a pillar, we might pass a person, but there can be something that lets us just very smoothly slide into, like, let's say you're seeing a pillar, right, just like this, and the camera goes, whoosh, and as soon as it passes that pillar, now we're in a restaurant. They've done this in other tourism videos, so it's not like it's a crazy thing, but we just transition very smoothly. And now we're in a restaurant, and you can actually sit there, kind of float around a table that's, like a couple talking or a couple friends or a whole family. And you get that breeze of restaurant, cozy, the food looks great. You can even fly right over the table, show the food, show how good it looks, hear a laugh as we pass by, and then we pass again. We go from the eating, if you want to show the nightlife as we go, take an FPV drone and just fly right over the food. And you can even speed ramp, slow it down, get a good shot of that food. Oh. And you've got every viewer going as it passes by that food. Yeah. And then as you leave the table and you swing to the left, we've transitioned. You never saw it. right into the bar. We see the bar crowd. We see people having drinks, having a good time. And then this is where I think it would be beautiful, okay? We literally go out of the bar, out the door, follow a couple people out the door. And once we pass by, there's the street. Let's say there's a tunnel. There's got to be a tunnel somewhere. We go through the tunnel, over a car. And in this tunnel, we go from nightlife. And when we're out, it's daytime. And we go right to the people hiking. The point is to go from A to B, the cleanest that you can make it, the smoothest you can make it for the viewer, the more likely you are that they're going to have the response that you want at the very end of it. You want to make thinking very minimal. You want it to be as emotional as possible. Just have it hit them. Can't explain it, but I want to go there. That's just my idea. It would take a lot of logistics to figure that out. And that's just kind of how this works. Everything's not really simple. You just have to make it look simple. You have to make it feel simple for the person that's on the other side of the screen because you just want them to feel something and not think something.